Here and there you got to have some time off from practically everything. Vanish, come back and shock the world. I'm conversing with that competitor, I'm talking to that head, I'm conversing with that nurture, that specialist, I'm conversing with that understudy, I'm conversing with that communicator, I'm conversing with that trailblazer, that creator, I'm conversing with that business person, I'm conversing with that minister, I'm conversing with that individual who will not remain where they are. I'm conversing with that individual that doesn't have an issue laying in lack of clarity. Since you know that when you emerge of the dull room, everyone's eyes on you. We live in a culture of hecticness, interruption and commotion. Also, now and again, the main way something's going to change is assuming we vanish. In some cases you got to erase the application. Some of the time you need to leave. Some of the time you need to fall back into the dull room. What's more, center around you. Everyone needs fate, everyone needs sign, everyone needs satisfaction, everyone needs the following level and the relationship and a higher nature of living, yet no one needs to kill interruptions, no one needs to vanish for 90 days, 4 months, a half year, and get into where you can zero in on you. Imagine a scenario where you could just close out each interruption. Imagine a scenario in which you could just quiet down the world for only temporary and spotlight on you. A man is compensated out in the open for what he does in private. Might you at any point turn off for 1 minute and center around you, center around what makes a difference? What are you doing here? What is your fate? The motivation behind why you don't see it, the motivation behind why it has not showed, the justification for why you are so disappointed, is on the grounds that you have not been able to neglect all that you've been called to neglect and to completely finish behind shut entryways. So you can discuss it, sure you can plan it, sure you can record it, sure you can go to the meeting and hear about it, you can find out about it, yet at some crossroads you need to vanish and set the work in and return and shock everyone that questioned you. I'm conversing with that man, that lady, that kid, that young lady who feels the fire in their gut. It's the ideal opportunity for you to stun the world. You might need to rest in your vehicle, you might need to do without food, you may need to bob around from love seat to love seat, you might need to forfeit like no one in your family at any point asks, yet can you do it in the background when no one's looking, while no one's observing, at the point when no one comprehends the proportion of energy that you convey? Could you at any point keep going? Don't stop. You in that general area go through the cycle in obscurity room that gets ready us and prepares us for the phases of fate. Now is the right time to get genuine. Now is the ideal time to get crude. Now is the ideal time to look ourselves in the reflect. Furthermore, come to the purpose that this variant of ourself won't convey us in the stretch that I've been this variant of myself long enough that on the off chance that I don't change, if I try not to take care of this, then, at that point, I will regard myself as bankrupt. The absolute generally fantastic and groundbreaking representations and pictures that we've of all time seen were created in obscurity room. We commend competitors and we celebrate basic scholars and trailblazers and entertainers, and we acclaim them and coin them our legends, and we follow them by the millions. We love what they do in broad daylight, yet you don't have a clue about the story behind the greatness. You don't have the foggiest idea about the blood, the perspiration. You didn't see the tears that they cry, the petitions that they implored, the incalculable weeks where they did without rest to get where they are. One of the best misfortunes in life is to live. Furthermore, not realize the reason why you're living. I'm simply contemplating whether there's anyone here that needs their future, that needs to satisfy their predetermination, that needs to manifest, that needs to stroll in discipline and assurance. I'm simply pondering, is there anyone here that is ready to vanish? Are you able to spurn all interruptions? Might you at any point stow away yourself in the library? Could you at any point stow away yourself in the rec center? Might you at any point stow away yourself in the meeting room and plan and gathering and do what's necessary behind the scenes to show the occasion? Could you at any point conceal yourself in your books? Can you conceal yourself in your storage room? Can you conceal yourself in the request rooms? Can you conceal yourself? We have this energy to be in general society. I yet no persistence to accomplish the work. In the background, quit telling the world what you are going to do. Steve Occupations once said, we don't say anything about future items, we work on them covertly and afterward we discharge them to the world. We just have such a lot of land in our minds, in our souls. We just have to such an extent transfer speed in our intellectual ability, and the more interruptions, the more hallucinations, the greater pessimism that we permit to take up land in our souls and in our psyches, the less energy we need to satisfy the call, to satisfy predetermination, to manifest the thought. All that you ponder, that you mull over, all that has to your consideration must merit your time. So presently it is the ideal time to explore and do an examination of all that is in our life, everything and everyone in our lifetime, to do an examination and inquire them this question: are you worth my time? In the event that you're not, now is the ideal time to turn off time. To turn off, chance to turn off. I'm simply contemplating whether there's anyone that can hear my voice right now that has arrived at the finish of themselves, and they will kill. Interruptions they will erase. Online entertainment applications, assuming they need to, they will leave everything that is diverted, all that has weakened your commitment and your assurance, each sickness and brokenness and confusion that has pulled you from predetermination after you have heard it, after you have gotten it, after you have recorded it on paper, after you have spoken it once. Do what is expected to show into the real world in the event that you can see it in your head, you can grasp it. Stop. Let everyone know what you're going to do. Quit. Let everyone know what your next move is, and simply vanish. What's more, do the work that is required. Try not to be unpleasant, don't be baffled. Listen, simply stay reliable. Behind the scenes, advancement is coming. Stages and potential open doors are being arranged right presently as you penance in confidential, as you put the work in obscurity room, as you do what is expected to grasp what you find in your mind. Be that as it may, nobody is there to certify you when no one's there to approve you, except for no one is there to concur with you. You work in obscurity. Also, you report it when it's done. You